Going to sports, it was actually acting that saw her really take flight. Her huge break coming with the Coen brothers film True Grit alongside Matt Damon and Jeff Bridges, Oscar nomination. At age 14, it's one of the youngest ever. It's very exciting to have her here tonight. She's out there somewhere. Next week just sees the release of her EP, May the 1st, I think it's out. Hailee, hello, welcome. It's very exciting to have you here.
Thank you. You look so nice.
Well, we can inform the viewers. We had a bit of a chat yesterday, and I told you that the set might look a little different today.
It's amazing. I love it.
How are you doing? How is Hollywood? How are you getting on in isolation?
I am doing good. Hanging in there, taking everything one day at a time. I think that's what we're all doing. And it's obviously such a huge adjustment. So, I mean, I have days that I, feel great and feel creative and inspired and motivated. And I have days where I don't feel any of those things. But I'm feeling really good today. And I'm just so excited that I have new music coming out. That's kind of what is like keeping me going.
Absolutely. Are you someone who's trying to stick to a routine as such in the day, or are you just trying to let it all flow and not kind of be too hard on yourself, I guess? I know some people are really kind of sticking to a routine and allowing that to give them their day some structure. How are you finding it's best kind of out there?
I'm kind of in between the two, actually. I have been working out every day, and that's been a conscious effort. But I've also just been keeping pretty busy with work, and that schedule is a bit, that inconsistent, to be fair. So, just trying to like not sleep all day because I do that very easily. In between the like routine, but also, going easy on myself.
Now, I know, if I got this right, you were homeschooled, or at least partly homeschooled, is that right?
Yes.
So how, I have two children. There's a lot of parents, a lot of viewers out there who have kids who are obviously, finding it an interesting time to now go back and try and learn the maths you forgot like so many years ago. Would you have any advice in terms of how you go with your homeschooling?
I luckily, I was on set the majority of my schooling life. So I was in a different place every day, and I had a tutor that would sit with me, and I responded really well to the one-on-one tutoring situation. But when I did have days at home, I would try and I would suggest going back to that routine conversation, waking up at a certain time, getting everything done and out of the way so that you have the day, because it's very hard to sit where I did it at my parents' house. I would sit at our kitchen table and look outside, and it would be a beautiful day, or it would just be calling my name, and it was just so hard to sit there. So I would just say, get it out of the way when you can, wake up and get it done. And
get it done. Exactly. Yeah. This is all information I'm going to be passing on to my two children tomorrow morning, by the way.
Oh boy, I hope it works.
How are you with the sort of thing that I find myself doing is spending an awfully long time putting off the thing that I'm supposed to be doing, but making a sandwich for like 90 minutes.
That's hilarious. I don't know. I haven't made any 90-minute sandwiches, but I don't know. I think I've been keeping on track with things that I have to be doing. Honestly, my main focus right now is getting this music out, and that has been something I've been wanting to do for years. So I will do whatever I can, whenever I can, as fast as I can, if it means getting the music out. So that's kind of where I'm at.
Let's talk about your music, because it's we love it here. We've heard some of it, but this is a real passion project of yours, and there's a lot of you in there, right?
Yeah, this is. It's funny because when I've obviously been writing for a couple years on and off. I'll sort of take myself out of the writing and recording game for months at a time if I go away to shoot a film or my show Dickinson. So when I finished season 1 of the show, we shot in New York. I came straight back to LA, and I had basically 6 months of writing time, and that was the longest amount of time consecutively that I've ever spent in the studio. So all of these records came from that period of time, and it was just so amazing that I just felt like for the first time I was able to allow myself to just be fully immersed in not knowing or not feeling like I had to be somewhere on the other end. You know what I mean? I just had that time, and I could be honest with myself and with my emotions, which is something I promised myself I would be. And it all came out in these records, and I'm so proud of them. And yeah, I'm excited.
I mean, the first track, "I Love Yous," I mean, to me, on listening to it, it sounds like, you know, you're trying to mend somewhat a broken heart, or at least deal with a love that may have not gone perfectly. Is that a fair assessment?
Sure. Yeah. I mean, I think, you know, these records are very much about a time in my life where I made a lot of realizations, and a lot of self-discoveries, just as far as how I handle things as a human. And I think, you know, we experience things in life, and every person in our life, we're told, comes in for a reason, whether to teach us a lesson or show us a new, you know, view of the world in a different light, whatever it is, whatever it may be. But yeah, these records are sort of about, you know, a couple experiences in my life that I went through, that, yeah, have to do with, like you said, mending a broken heart.
How are you? What is for you a perfect date? I guess, Hailee, I was thinking about. Are you someone that wants to go on a trail walking, or something? Or are you a kind of out till 2 kind of clubber? What's your perfect kind of date?
Oh, perfect date. I don't know, to be honest. I'm kind of game for anything. I love spontaneity. Anything spur of the moment I'm into. But I don't know, just something simple, really. I'm a pretty simple gal.
A big surprise, but no like jumping out of planes or whatever. That, I think, you know.
I mean, I'm down for that. I've never done that.
Have you ever done that?
No.
Nor have I. I'm not sure whether I'd sign up to it, to be fair. Listen, you know, everyone knows, they all know, your fans will know, you know, and beyond that, you know, you've had such success with acting, as well as with music. What do you say to people that say, critics that say, stay in your lane, you know, choose one creative field, don't stop trying to be.
That's what I say.
Quite right.
You know what? I feel like I am part of a generation that is no longer putting people in boxes. I think even within just the music world, there are artists from certain genres crossing over into other genres that are not technically their own. And it's so wildly accepted, and it's so incredible because, you know, passion is passion, talent is talent. You bring those things together regardless of who you are or what field you're in, and magic can happen. And I don't think there's any such thing as staying in one lane. If you feel like you're capable or passionate about something, then do it. I also just think, like I said, I think people are breaking down barriers and crossing over into new territories constantly and showing us that it can be done. So, yeah, screw off to anybody who says no to that.
Too right. I've got to ask you, because I think you're certainly the first Oscar-nominated actress we've had on Happy Hour. Maybe not the last, who knows? But, you know, for viewers, it's so interesting in terms of, and for me, what that feels like. And I know you were 14, I guess you were pretty young, but sitting there waiting for a result such as that, I guess you've given it some time to think about it, but on reflection, how did that feel, or were you just desperate to get out of there, basically?
You know, I knew growing up that, you know, being nominated for an Academy Award was the highest honor you could receive. As a little girl, I would watch the Oscars, but I would have no interest in anything after the red carpet was over. So when it happened, when I shot True Grit, we basically shot it, and did it come out the same year? Basically, it was just like one whole year of like, we shot the thing, we ran the whole award circuit. It was just like this crazy one hell of a year. And when there was really no point when I was shooting the film that I was thinking about any kind of award, any nomination,
Sure.
and nor was anybody else, to my knowledge. It was only about making the greatest piece of art that we could make, and I try and, I mean, that was sort of instilled in me at that point, and that was, of course, my first role, big role. So I feel like I definitely take that with me, with everything I do, with every job I do. But I will say I had a really cool moment. The day that the nominations came out, I went straight into interviews and what have you. And there was one person, she was one of the first people I spoke to, that she basically started the interview by saying, "Your title has forever changed." And I had no idea what she meant. And she basically said, "You are now Academy Award nominated actress Hailee Steinfeld." And I was like, whoa, that is so crazy. And it wasn't until I made my next film that I then saw that on the big screen that it sort of like actually sunk in a little bit. But it's an incredible honor just to be recognized at any capacity for doing what I love.
An incredible achievement, and yeah, as you say, it was something that I'm sure you'll carry with you for your, well, of course, your whole life. Matt Damon, you still in touch?
I haven't spoken to Matt in a while, but I love him, of course, and his beautiful family, and he's wonderful.
I mean, it must have been, it's an intimidating thing though, right, to get on that set. I mean, with such icons and such legends, even though I guess you were young, so maybe you just had your blinkers on, you just wanted to do a great job, I guess, get the craft done, get the work done. But there must have been moments where you were kind of screaming inside.
Oh, no, definitely. I had done a lot of my research before I got on set, so I was, I was definitely in awe over every single person on that set. And it was very intimidating because there wasn't really much time to, hang and chat and get to know each other before we just dove right into the deep end. And it was really wild, but they all were so supportive and patient with me and just encouraged me to always be curious and ask questions. And I truly it's so wild. Every time I think about it, every time I talk about it, I could not have dreamt of a better first movie experience.
Incredible experience. Now you're in LA. Now, of course, cliches ring true. Certainly in this country, we all think that the land of Hollywood is the land of wellness and sort of, vegan gong baths, etc., etc. How I know your dad is a personal trainer, or certainly was, right? So I guess, are you managing to work out? You're keeping fit? Are you doing some meditation? Is that happening?
It's funny. I actually downloaded an app like a while ago it's like for meditation and to help with sleep and all of that. And I actually never went to the meditation part of it until recently.
Right.
And I'm just kind of getting into it. So I think that's awesome and really important. But I have been working out with my dad every day, and I think that's like truly one of very few things that is keeping me sane these days. It's less about anything. It's just it's all mental health, and it's truly been so helpful. So yeah.
That's good. Look, I'm gonna try and get. I've got some. My children mainly sending me some questions that I know the viewers are sending in, and I've got them on my machine here. Let's see what we've got.
Did you say machine?
I said machine. I meant laptop. I wish it was like a sort of an old school machine churning out ticker tape questions. That'd be great. Listen, your album or EP is coming out in 2 parts. They're keen to know when the next part is dropping, why it's done in 2 parts. What's the deal there?
All right, listen, as far as when part 2 is coming out, let's focus on the fact that part 1 is coming out. I will say my fans have been so incredibly patient with all of this, with me, with all the music. But I decided to split it up into 2 parts for a couple of reasons. But the main one being, as I work towards a bigger body of work, I really want to put out the music that I have right now. These are songs that like I said before, I'm so pumped about and just cannot wait for people to hear them. And so, yeah, it will all make more sense when it's out. But it's, half the story. So part 1 will be out, and as I continue writing the rest,
Part 2.
it will be out.
That's great. There also another question came in, and I'm keen to know this too. When you were a teenager, I mean, everyone has like icons they pin up, they put posters on their wall, they have, you know, did you have teenage crushes? I spoke to Billie Eilish recently. Obviously everyone knows that her kind of teenage crush was Justin Bieber, of course.
Right.
What about you? Did you have, what did you have? Of course, mine too. What did you have
Same.
up there?
You know what, I never really went through like a poster on the wall phase. Maybe for like, I don't know. I don't know. I love any kind of like vision boarding. You know, I think I would just take things that like inspired me in the moment. I mean, as far as like artists go, I grew up listening to such a wide variety of artists and genres of music, and would just, I guess, put stuff up on my wall that inspired me in the moment, as far as fashion or, you know, a certain hairstyle. But it was never really one specific person that was like all over my walls.
Okay. All right. Very diplomatic answer, I think. Okay. I thought we'd play a little game. It's a little game. We could play a little game. It's pretty quick.
Okay.
I'm calling it Fantasy Isolation Island. So, on this island, you're allowed to take one celebrity, one snack, one book to read, one Instagram account you can follow, one beauty product, one song, and one other luxury item that isn't your phone or loo roll. So, should we start?
Okay, what was the first one?
One celebrity, I guess. Anyone in the world. Take your pick. Go nuts.
Damn.
I would take, you know what I might take Post Malone. I think it'd be fun.
That would be a great time. I feel like Posty's a good call because he's funny. I was thinking about somebody funny. Need to be somebody funny. I'm going to agree with you on that one.
Okay, let's take Posty. He's a good guy.
All right.
How about a snack? Are you a big snacker?
Oh man, a huge snacker. One snack? Damn it. Well, it has to be something.
You'll probably get nutrition on the island from like fish, and so this could be like a luxury. It could be a luxury.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay, good to know.
You don't have to survive only on this snack for the whole time.
How about, I just discovered this unbelievable edible cookie dough.
Oh, good.
That is so bomb, and
wow.
That would probably be what I take.
Okay, that's a good shout. Good shout.
Yeah.
What about a book? What are you reading at the moment, Hailee?
I have a thing where I will go into a bookstore and buy more books than I know I can handle. And I'll pick one up and then pick another one up, So I have a few started, but one or two that I always carry around with me for some reason are Milk and Honey and The Sun and Her Flowers by Rupi Kaur. It's just a book, it's a series of poetry, and it's so wonderful. And I always find that, like, if I have it or if it's sitting in front of me, I'll just flip to a random page and read something that never fails to make me feel something. I love her writing. So.
Oh, that's good. I like it. Good recommendation. What about, I think this is a hard one, and you had to choose only one Instagram account to follow.
I mean,
I think that's almost impossible, right?
Hold on, I actually just started following one called, I have to double check. I think it's called Moon Memes or Moon something. Okay, but it's like, we can check. Really, really wonderful, like, words of affirmation and like positive thinking and really wonderful quotes. And yeah, I don't know. I just started following it and I think it's really cool. So maybe that, or probably just like Beyonce.
Yeah, well, there we go. There we go.
You know?
It's just more or less the same thing, pretty much.
Yeah.
Okay, so one song you can take, not your own. That's cheating. And then just one other luxury item from your house.
Okay, song, probably. Wow.
This is good. Proper thought being
maybe. Ooh, damn, dude, this is crazy. Maybe Yesterday.
Ooh, okay, very cool. Why not?
And
Never
then,
get bored listening to that.
right? And then, okay, so a luxury item, and you said not my phone, and what else?
Would not loo roll, because I consider that in these times luxury.
Fair enough. All right. Then how about a guitar?
Yes. There we go. Fantastic. Very.
Still learning how to play it, but I have a lot of time on an island, so.
Right. Precisely. Yeah. Actually, speaking of which, have you picked up? I mean, I know how busy you've been anyway, but these last few weeks. But are you someone? Have you tried to learn? I mean, a lot of people are trying to learn new skills out there. I'm currently just trying to wrestle with the old skills. But have you picked anything up these last few weeks at all?
I have actually. I started teaching myself how to play piano. So I guess I could take a piano. Could I take a piano or a keyboard? You know?
Yeah, sure. Why not?
Right. So I ordered a bunch of equipment to make a little home studio, and I've just kind of been chipping away at it every day, teaching myself how to use it.
Fantastic. That's fantastic. Hailee, you are a complete superstar. It's very, very lovely to talk to you.
Thank you.
I hope you stay safe. I hope your family stay safe and all your friends. It's been a pleasure having you on. And again, your music is out. It's May the 1st, isn't it, I think?
That's right.
Okay, everyone go and listen to it. Thank you so much for coming on. And
thank you, Jonathan. See you soon.
Take care. Thank you, Hailee. Fantastic. All good. All right, guys. Well, that was Hailee Steinfeld. How lovely was she? She was great. What a talent, acting talent, and also, of course, her music out next week. So let's go straight into guest number 2. I'm very excited about this human being who is coming to be with us. A bit like when Russell Brand in his swashbuckling prime. The next guest wakes up the nation 5 days a week as a host of BBC Radio 1's Breakfast Show. He's the politest man in popular culture, I think he is. He's also Britain's best-selling children's author, who's not David Walliams. How's that for an intro? It's the entirely handsome, the roll neck loving, Greg James. What's with the? Do you not like that?
But first thing, I saw. Hello, everyone. By the way, and good evening.
Hello. Thank you for joining us, Greg.
I saw your Instagram story, and you said you wanted to talk to me about my roll neck because you were like, he wore a roll neck 3 days ago, and it was really warm. I'm gonna break it to you. That was actually a video from about 3 weeks ago.
Oh God! I mean,
sorry.
I did think about that, but then I thought I'm gonna go there. I was desperate. It was early.
Yeah. This is nice, isn't it? I like the happy hour.
I'm loving it. That's very sweet of you. Look, you've got, what are you drinking there? That's a rosé. You're calling it early with the rosé. That's it. Oh, nice.
Of course.
I see.
I think there's no. I've sort of been on the rosé since about 1 o'clock this afternoon, so it's been great.
How are you, Greg? How is life? How's work? How's it all going?
Yeah, it's all good. We had a really sort of mad, like everyone. I mean, we had a mad few weeks where we were trying to get used to the new world and the lockdown and everything. And essentially we had to kind of relaunch the Breakfast Show, but with the new tone and like a new sort of attitude a little bit. And we just didn't know how it would go, and we didn't know what to say because no one knew what to say in real life. So when you went on the radio, we were like, how do we approach this? But actually the listeners just really wanted some fun stuff, and they wanted some silliness. And we have I think we've hit our stride now a little bit, and we're all getting used to the new normal a little bit, but it's just odd. The whole thing is odd, but you've just got to embrace that. And actually radio is a great companion for people when everything is a bit desperate and you need some sort of normality, I guess.
Well, I was going to talk to you about this a bit later down the line, but I mean, you know, you have done, some of the stuff you've done has been great for focusing on people's mental health. You know, some of the exercise, the stunts that you've done. You know, you've really the Greg Athlon, especially. You know, you got some real heartfelt messages out there, and I'd wondered actually if you've been getting the same thing this time. You just like that you're there listening to them and just feel that they're heard.
Yeah, even more so. Well, because radio is so great as a companion, as I said, but it's a very intimate listen, a radio show. So you think you know the person really well, and you feel like you've invited them into your car or your kitchen or whatever it might be. So people really open up to you, and that's been by far the most amazing thing for everyone on Radio 1 the last few weeks. Every single show has had just a mountain of emails from people saying it's so nice to switch the radio on and for a moment you forget everything else, and then you forget that the news is quite bleak, and then you can focus on something else and you feel connected. I guess that's the whole thing, isn't it? Humans like to feel like they're part of something and connected, and radio does that really well. So we've heard from a lot of people who are living on their own, or they're isolating because they're poorly, or they are the only one in their house who's going to work. Maybe they work in the health service and they're having to go in, but the rest of their family live away. So it's nice to be the middleman in the whole situation. It's been a real challenge for all of us actually on Radio 1, but we've learned a lot, and we'll never forget these few weeks of trying to muddle our way through. No one will, but it's been quite an odd experience to work out how do you do a fun, stupid radio show during a global pandemic. There's no rule book. Like, turn to chapter 5. It's the pandemic chapter. Like, what do you do?
But I mean, you know, you've had such success, you know, Greg, with that show. I feel it's been a long time, and you know, we love some of those past presenters, you know, and their work they did, and had brought different styles to it. But you know, I think the first one for a long time, you've actually gained listeners.
Yeah, I mean, the thing is with those figures, they really go up and down. So I don't really celebrate the ups.
So
No,
polite,
I really don't, because
so polite, so humble. There we go. It's okay.
But there are genuinely ups and downs.
You can brag.
But if like they went up and then they go down a bit and they go up again, but actually, in terms of the timing for me taking over that show, it was perfect for me, and it was perfect for Grim as well, because he'd had enough. I was sort of ready for a new challenge anyway, and I wouldn't have been able to do it a couple of years or even 3 years ago. It just wouldn't have been right for me. I've worked really hard at my own show, and like working out what it is, and like what would the breakfast show version of that sound like. So yeah, I guess it's a bit of a boring answer, but well, it came to me at the right time, and I was ready for it in a way that I probably wasn't ready for it a few years beforehand. And all these things work out for the best, maybe, I guess. Because I mean, Grim, for example, you know, sorry, say again.
That's a sensible answer, but the answer really, the secret of your success, truly, well, there's two things. One, your hair.
Thank you.
Which the listeners obviously can see on radio. And number two, the pasty.
The pasty. Well, I think that's part of what I was talking about, in that you get when you do years of radio shows and you at Radio 1 for a while, you get confidence. And we have a confidence where we're like, we're just going to see if this shit works. And we tried it out in the first week, and we just went, we got nothing to lose. I've been given this show. I've always wanted to do this show. We'll give it our best shot. And we just thought, what's the maddest, stupidest stuff you can come up with? And one of the first stupid ideas we came up with was the idea of getting a pasty from Cornwall to Aberdeenshire. And it was because a listener in Aberdeenshire had never had a Cornish pasty. So we were like, all right, Sarah, we'll get one sent up the country. But we were sort of passed it across the country like the Olympic flame.
Fantastic.
So there were people really got into it, and they were like, Greg, I'm traveling from Devon to London. We can get it to London if you'd like to. And then someone else picked it up from there. There was a guy in Manchester who was like dropping his dogs off for the day at doggy daycare, and he was a plumber, and he was like, I can take it for half an hour if you want, whatever. So it was like this amazing relay of the pasty, and eventually it got there. But I guess we did that in our second week, and that set the tone. It was like, well, if you don't like this nonsense, then it's not for you. So we wanted to make our mark, and I guess the thing I'm most proud of is that we've made whether people like it or not, that's fine. Like we've made an impact, I guess.
No, it's great. I mean, I'm loving it. People are loving it. Now, I want to know though, truly, because you're very polite and lovable. We all know that. You know, I know that. Your wife knows that. Your dog knows that.
Yeah.
Knows that. But, you know, is there an arch media manipulator underneath that?
Yeah.
There is, right?
Of course.
Yeah, that's right. I knew it.
Ruthlessly ambitious. Yeah, an absolute arsehole, really. I mean, we all have our moments, but I just don't like playing out that in public necessarily. Like me and Bella got together because we sort of hate the same things, and we think, you know, we think along the same lines as each other for stuff. If you don't, like, saying something's shit doesn't mean that you're a bad person. It means that you have to be critical, and I'm really critical of my own stuff, of other people's things, and everything. So yeah, I mean, I don't want the show to be some sort of negative, everyone's an idiot and let's take the piss out of everyone. But the show is supposed to be joyful and silly, and those are my favorite things. They actually make me happy. So when I'm feeling a bit grumpy in the morning, the best thing for me to do is not to go on and rant about stuff, but to do something funny and do our take on the day's news. So we don't ever want that show to be like twee, like, oh, isn't everything amazing? Oh, aren't you all great? It's definitely not that. But I think there's a happy medium with doing funny stuff and being an asshole.
Yeah, I'm still treading that fine line, I'd say.
And you're treading it very well.
Thank you, Greg. Thank you so much. I guess a bit more, not to get too serious, but in terms of, you know, a civic responsibility, that, as we talked about there just a little bit, that idea that you're, you know, a listening post for some people out there in need. I guess you must feel that a bit, certainly during this time.
Yeah, I think that's the most sort of amazing thing about the job, is that, and actually what I've realized as I've got older and doing Radio 1, when you first start in Radio 1, I think you immediately kind of go, oh my God, I'm like on Radio 1, it's like the most famous radio station, and I'm going to be really famous, and like, oh my God, look at all these things I can go to do, and like, I think you think, what can this radio station do for me?
Yeah.
But when I realized the opposite, I think it opened the whole thing up, and I was like, actually, you can use this radio station to change someone's day and make them laugh or play a great song or whatever. So when I realized that there was a real sense of community that you can tap into and do a show which is about the listeners and for them, then it really opened the whole thing up. And part of that was the Greg Athlon Sport Relief Challenges, where we were actually having this conversation with the listeners, where they were telling us their secrets and their sort of their mental health journey, and they were saying, oh my God, since listening to the radio this week, I've realized that the reason I'm sad is because I'm suffering with depression. And it's more than a radio station that plays pop songs and has movie stars on there. It does all those things, but also it's a very human place. And the presenters, we're encouraged to be ourselves and to say when we're feeling a bit down, or when we've had a bad day, or when something goes wrong, you're honest about it. And then the listeners respond in that way. So yeah, you do feel a huge responsibility, a civic responsibility, as you said. I think that's a great term, because you've been given this opportunity to talk to a lot of people, and therefore a lot of people listen to you, and they can respond off your mood and what you say, and you can direct people to certain yeah.
Well, I was going to ask you, Greg, you know, have you always been good at talking through your emotions? Have you been good at that? Are you good at talking about your emotions with your wife? I know she's, you know, she's had her incredible journey as well. What do you like as a man?
Yes, I have been. Doing the radio show has given me a lot of confidence to say things more publicly. I've always been pretty good. I've got a really good relationship with my mum and dad. They're sort of like mates, really. So I can chat to them about stuff, and I will tell people things. So I'm pretty good at that. Bella's unlocked a whole new level of that, I guess, and understanding people's mental health a bit better, and understanding anxiety, understanding what it's like to live with someone with anxiety and those sorts of things. So that's definitely helped. But I've always been pretty open, and what you learn quite quickly is that if you are, as long as you're saying it for a good reason, as long as you're saying it so that it will help someone else on the radio, then that's a good thing. You've got to have a decent reason for telling your innermost secrets, I think. But it's incredible when you put something out and you realize that it actually gets a response, that it gives you confidence to keep going.
Now, because you're on the show, and I know you love a silly game, I thought we'd play a silly game.
Please.
But for this, I need the only prop I own. Well, actually, I own 2 props. That's my first prop. But we don't need that for this. We don't need that one. We need the other one. I'll just wheel it in. Here it comes. There we go. There we go. It's a spinny wheel.
It's good. It's all reversed.
Yeah, I know. Yeah. The good bit is you can't read it, and nor can the viewers. So...
Great. This is a great. It's a great game.
Yeah. Okay. So these are the spinning wheel of inappropriately personal questions that I'm too scared to ask directly.
What? So you're going to let the spinny board ask it?
Exactly.
You coward. Okay.
I'm going to give it a tug. Here we go. They're not that personal, by the way.
Okay.
Where will it stop? No one knows. Who knows? I can't remember what we wrote on here, I have to say. Oh, what's that? Oh, yes. Okay. So now, can you really stay true friends with the person whose radio show you've just taken over?
Yes.
Really?
Yeah, well, I mean, the thing is with me and Grim is that we only met through Radio 1, so we've always had, it's odd, right? You just have you grow into a friendship, but you don't see each other that often. And actually that is one of the sad things about all the people on Radio 1 is that you don't really see each other as much as you want to, especially because we've always been at the other end of the day. But yeah, I mean, actually, I'd say me and Grim are probably closer than we've ever been because we had to do this really mad switchover where we were the only people that knew it was going to happen. And he was ready to, it was essentially this time last year where we both were chatting about it. And it was me and him and our boss, Ben, who were the only three who knew about it. So you have to form a friendship because there's, it's a weird thing. You're the only people in the world going through it. And we knew the next morning there was going to be new breakfast show host. Grimmy's not doing the breakfast show. And it's like, it's a weird thing. So you have to be close to those people. Otherwise it feels quite lonely.
Is there like a bit like, you know, when you take over the Oval Office, when the new president, is there an odd tradition? Do you leave a little letter for the next host or a little?
No, fuck off, because that makes me Trump.
We'll get on to him later.
That's no, but we get on really well, and also one of the sort of weird things is that at the opposite end of the day, you're never really on each other's shows that often. But when we are on the same show together, the listeners really enjoy it, and we really enjoy it as well. Because although we are different, we have a very similar sense of humor and find the same things funny. So it's actually a real sadness that you're not together more often. Actually, that's my real answer. But yeah, but also the truth of it is, of course, when you do a job like this, as I was saying a minute ago, you come to it very sort of single-minded and very much like, and quite selfish, and you go, right, this is my shop. I'm on Radio 1 now. So of course there's like an automatic rivalry between every single presenter. But when you break through all that and you grow up a little bit and you realize that the world is bigger than you and the radio station is bigger than you are, then actually you just fall back on having a great respect for everyone around you. So that's basically where me and Grim are now, which is nice.
Cool. Good, Grim. We love Grim anyway. Let's give this another tug, see where we go.
Why do you keep saying tug?
I just like saying tug, okay?
I know you do.
I say it a lot around this house.
Give it a little tug.
All right, here we go. What's that? What is this? It says, oh, this is quite an easy one. What's the favourite part of your body, Greg?
Favourite part of my body? Probably my legs, I'd say.
Oh, really?
Well,
Okay.
I like being tall. And
yes,
I think I've got decent legs. Everything above like my stomach and everything is probably my least favorite area because I really enjoy cheese. And I know it's like when I'm like, oh, I'd really like to have a flat stomach or maybe a six-pack, but then I go, but I really like pizza. So at the end of my life, I'll go, I'm glad I ate pizza and didn't bother wasting my time on a six-pack. But I like my legs.
I worry that you've. I know about your love of cheese. I know about love of a good bath, which I fully respect.
Yeah.
I worry though that now it's become a thing that your sacred place of the bath has sort of been. It's turned into a thing that you do.
Maybe. But the ones you see on Instagram.
That's only one bath
we're
like seeing per day.
That's 1 out of 30. You see. So I mean, you're lucky that I wasn't in the bath this evening.
I thought you might be actually. I have to say.
Yeah,
I was kind of hoping. Okay, one more time. No expense spared, as you can see, great for you.
Oh, it's great. I like how the
this?
GQ's upside down as well.
What's that?
I like how the GQ in the middle is upside down as well on the.
Oh yes, that's the right. Is that the right round now? No. There we go.
There we go.
Yeah.
This is perfect for me because this is as shambolic as all of the games.
Hey, shush! I won't have that.
Shambolic in a good way.
So, okay, who would you? This is a good one. Who would you like to say sorry to tonight?
I would like I'd like to say sorry. I'd like to say sorry to the person so I was in the park yesterday with Barney, my dog. He should be here somewhere. Where is he?
Where is he?
He's very quiet. He's unusually quiet.
Yeah.
Hope he's okay. I was in the park the other day, and there were loads of people around, and I was chatting to Bella, but on my not like a Bluetooth headset like Alan Partridge, but like an hello,
with a mic.
hello, Lynn. I'm on the park. And Barney was like running away and sniffing loads of things, like running up to kids. If a kid's got a stick, he's like, and goes for the stick. So I had to like try and get him away, but obviously because we're social distancing. And I was on the phone to Ben, and I was like, oh, there's so many fucking people around. And this mum turned around and went, oh, well, I'm sorry, it's not just your park. And I was like, no, I wasn't. And she walked off with her child, and she went, well, there's a big dog over there, and its owner's a big wanker. Like, no, I wasn't saying you as people. I was like, so her. I didn't mean to call her fucking people. So I felt bad about it, but not bad enough to go and chase after her. But
No, obviously.
So
I
her.
got it now. You said sorry now. I wonder if you've got
Sorry.
time for one more spin. Should we do one more spin? I think
Yeah, get Fat Tony on. He's better than me.
No, he's great. Fat Tony's waiting in the wings. Here we go. Come on. What's it going to be? Who knows? I don't know. I can't remember the question. Oh, we picked that one. What are the chances of that?
Go on, give it another tug.
one. Another one.
You don't have to do too much of a tug, you know. You could just.
I like it.
Okay,
it's my
fine.
favourite part of my day.
No, you're the one who said there was a short time. No, it's fine.
Okay, desert island dips. What are you taking to your desert island dip-wise?
Dip. Oh,
Dip.
Domino's garlic and herb.
Oh, really? Interesting.
Yeah.
That's big in this household, I have to say.
Does Marmite count as a dip?
What are you dipping?
Anything. Literally.
Not finger. No.
Spoon.
I don't believe that. Not finger. You wouldn't dip a finger in the Marmite. No, don't go get it. Oh, for God's sake. No, this is this is incredible. This is
This is my final image. It's gonna look disgusting when people screen grab it.
Greg, you're a superstar. I love you. Thank you so much for coming on.
Thank you.
Now go and wash your finger. It's disgusting. You disgusting human being.
Thank you. Good night.
Cheers, Greg. See you soon. Very good. All right. I believe he's still there.
Cheers.
There we go. Ah, brilliant. Greg Jones, what a lovely chap. Lovely chap. Right, let's get our third and final guest on. I love him so much, this man. I'm so happy that he's coming on this show. I've wanted him on here since we started, which now feels like at least six months, I have to say. And that's just this show. Fat Tony, are you out there? I would love to speak to you. We're going to connect to you now. This guy, let me give a little intro for those of you who don't know. He's a meme monster. He's the, what is he? The Pharaoh of Filth, I'm going to call you. I'm going to call you the Pharaoh of Filth. A superstar DJ through the years. He's battled with everything.
Oh, my head looks massive.
There he is. How are you, my sweet?
I'm all right. You know what? I'm going to use headphones because
okay.
I'm in my garden and the sound's shit.
All right, you do that. That's okay. You're looking lovely, by the way. Oh, well, look,
there
you're
you go.
a DJ, so I mean,
Yeah.
It makes perfect sense. You're looking amazing.
It does, doesn't it?
Tony, how are you, my friend? So
I'm really good,
today?
Johnny. What's been going on today? I started walking today.
Ooh.
I've only been in lockdown for a month and I've literally started exercising today.
What, just today?
Yeah. Don't get me wrong, I've been walking to Marks and Spencer's and Waitrose, which is like 200 yards from my house. But like, I started walking today. I literally walked 4-point-something miles, and just
Good on
got to
you.
go. I
Good
saw someone I hate this morning. This girl
Who is
in
that?
Pimlico.
Who was it?
Just
Please tell me who it was.
Her name's Beryl. She's one of those people that knows all your business. And I saw her this morning. She went, "What's that?" and pointed at my stomach.
Oh my God.
Yeah, I know, right? So I thought, right, fuck you, bitch. That's it. It's on. It's on. Do you know what I mean?
Target Beryl for one of your next memes. That's what I would do. Target her.
She had a mask on. I said, well, after COVID's gone, darling, you should keep that on because I said, you might shut your mouth. Yeah. No, there's no love lost. I can assure
Tony,
you.
look, I know, look, we've had long chats, but you know, you've been through it all. I know you have. You've been through it all. You've had.
I've been through it all.
Well,
I've been through world wars or plague.
well, okay, well, all right, fair enough. But you've had your fair share of very highs and very lows. Let's
Yeah.
put it that way.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
I mean, you must be. I was thinking, for all you've been through, sex addictions, meth addictions, cocaine addiction, all the rest of it. Now probably social media addiction, but we'll probably get onto that later. You must be coping with this little bit of isolation easily, right?
Well, you know, for me, it's like kind of like I was in prison for 28 years with addiction, so kind of like being at home and having rest time is actually a blessing. It's not as bad as everyone makes out it is. Do you get what I mean? We have freedom. We can still go out. We can still go walk our dogs. We can still go for walks once in a month. But you know what? It kind of once you embrace it and you think, okay, this is all right. I'm all right with this. It's okay. And you know, at the beginning of it all, it was like, oh, what am I going to do in my days? I don't have enough hours in the day already. Again, it's kind of insane, right?
I know.
Don't have enough hours doing nothing. It's mad.
Yeah, I know. What have you been doing and what have you been watching?
What have I been watching?
Anything good?
Summer Heights High again.
Nice.
We've been watching, I think we've watched the entire catalogue of Netflix, which is always so boring. Anyway, you know, you spend 3 hours just trying to find something to watch. Been West Welding it. Yeah, I mean, you know, literally just upset. My partner David's obsessed by RuPaul's Drag Race. So he's watched it for the whole series once over and then again, from series 1 to series 13.
Now, I wanted to, you know, I was talking to Greg James there, lovely Greg James from the BBC, and how he is having, and how he was, love Greg, yeah, he's great. Did you, when this all started, and obviously it's deeply worrying for lots of people, you know, you have a particular Instagram account that's hilarious, but some people may take offence every once in a while. Did you think you might have to tone it down a little bit? Really?
No, turn it up. If someone moans, turn it up. You know, if you're going to knock on my door and tell me to turn the stereo down, the stereo is going to go up. It's the same with Instagram.
Cool.
You know, recently I've had like a few wars with people, because what happens is people send me stuff all the time, and what they do is they screenshot it and they edit it. They send me it. It has no name on it. So then you get this, like, some fat bitch that lives in Dublin. Oh, did I out her? Telling me, oh, you stole my meme. And it's kind of like, hang on, this is Instagram. This is how it works. If I was to contact everybody that reposted my memes on a daily basis, there wouldn't be enough hours in the day. It's an honor. When someone takes your work and sends it somewhere else, it's an honor. When you repost something, it's an honor. This is what Instagram is about. I'm not breaking into the Louvre and stealing the Mona Lisa. You know, it's like, you know, it really is just insane the way people get so up and precious. You know, I love it when people steal it and repost. That's what it's about. So no, I wouldn't tone anything down.
Who sends you? Now I have it. We're going to play a little game. We're going to play a game of truth or see you next Tuesday or whatever. Truth or false? True or false? Now, this is a myth-busting exercise, we'd call it.
All right, let's do it.
All right, here we go. First one, is it true that the person that sends you the most memes is Kate Moss?
False, I wish. She doesn't send anything. Occasionally I get stuff. Do you get what I mean? I kind of get naughty videos. More like disgusting videos. You know, that's what it's, you know, that's what friends do. You have a friend circle. Everyone reposts stuff. Yeah, no, that's a myth.
You know what? I often think that we see your public Instagram. I can only imagine what your like private WhatsApp accounts are like. I mean, it must be disgusting.
Well, you know, it's kind of like I have this thing now where I don't have dick pics and shit like that in my phone. What I do have is just like dodgy memes, and there's stuff that I think I have to. If I think, oh my God, is that racist? I won't post it. Just that fact that I actually have to ask myself, is that? Do you get what I mean? So I have all that stuff. I mean, I don't have racist stuff, but I mean, it's kind of things that are, there's a thin line between humor and, you know, everything else, homophobia, blah, blah, blah. So kind of like I have that stuff, and then I kind of think, I toy with it. Do you get what I mean? And if I don't post it, I'll send it to friends.
Yeah. Okay, that's good. So I want to go through some of your other home truths because you've had such a life. Freddie Mercury gave you your first line of cocaine. Is that true?
That's true. Yeah. That's true.
Yes.
That's very true. Yeah. Kind of, yeah. I think it was more than one line, but you know, yeah, it was,
That's fine. That was the problem, I think, wasn't it, Tony?
that was the problem. And you know what? I actually hated it. I hated it. I hate the taste. Yeah, that's actually true.
Okay, true. That's good. The other one, now, I hope he's watching because this is about him specifically. I call him boss. You call him Dylan.
Don't go there.
Is it? Wait for it.
God.
Is it true that you're the one that turned GQ's Dylan Jones straight?
No, Dylan was gay for 1 week in 1986, I think it was. But we won't go into the story on here because Dylan will start sending me text messages again. No,
You'll get them anyway. Believe it.
Dylan's always been straight. That's Dylan's problem. He's always been too straight. Do you get what I mean?
Oh yeah, of course.
Okay.
I know exactly what I mean.
To gay pride, and I'm going to let my hair down. I think we'd be all right.
He'll do it. He'll do it now. He'll do it now. Invite him. He'll go. You know what, Tony? I love you, but I'm going to have to leave you because I think we've run out of time. And Instagram,
You're a
when it
wanker.
comes to 60 minutes, they take us off
Yeah.
air.
Well, you should have had less Greg James and more Fat Tony.
It's lovely to talk. Well, we'll do it. Let's do it again.
Yeah, of course. God bless, man.
It's so lovely to see you, Tony.
Always, Johnny.
In a second, we are doing. I'm going to say goodbye. I'm going to get cut off. But it's so lovely to see you. Thanks so much for coming on.
Most people want haircuts. Let me finish with this. Most people want haircuts. You need Botox. Let's leave it at that, all
right? Thanks, Tony.
God bless, man.
All right, there we go. Fantastic.
Well, are we out?
That's it. You can do more. I think there we go. That's pretty much it. Thank you so much for joining us. We had Hailee Steinfeld. We had Fat Tony. I'm sorry we had to take him off, but we had to do. We're running out of time. We've got literally minutes left. Greg James, what a superstar. This has been Happy Hour. It is Thursday. Remember, 8 o'clock, go out there, clap for the key workers. That's way more important than this show and the most important thing you'll do all week. Thank you for joining us. See you next week when we've got some more incredible guests. All right. Take care. Bye-bye for now.